Hey guys, I've got a unique ad. Are you getting enough sleep? Sleep is really important. Trust me, I barely get any of it. But when I do, I want to sleep really, really well. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about, Helix. In fact, Helix was so confident that we would love the beds that they sent us 3 to try out, knowing we would love it. So we've had these beds for the past 6 months, and I gotta tell you, freaking awesome.
Yeah, they gave us a sleep quiz that you can check out on their website, find out exactly what you want. I found the one that was perfect for me, and I got the one with cooling because it is hot in Texas, and if you sleep hot like I do, it helps so much.
Yeah, I needed an upgrade, and I took the quiz. I ended up getting the Helix Midnight Lux.
That's Joe's main bed. How do you like it?
Loving it. It's like medium. We can still kind of firm. I love it.
What's cool about Helix is that you get a 100-night trial. That's a sleep trial. You can try it out for 100 nights. See if you like it. If you don't, you can return it. So, guys, there is free shipping in the U.S., and right now they are running a site-wide sale, which is going to get you 27% site-wide off. So, if you're in the market for a new bed, if you're in the market for an upgrade, gosh, consider how much and how important, how much we use these beds and how important they are.
I need my sleep.
Yeah.
Boom.
Old guys are always telling you never cheap out on things that go under you, right? Tires, chairs, and a mattress.
So the link is down below for the Angry Joe show. Check it out. I think you're going to like it, and you're going to get better sleep, guys. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the video. Check it out. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section for Fantastic Four First Steps. So I don't know how much the marketing has revealed, but basically Galactus
I think in the trailer it says he wants the baby. We don't want to give him the baby.
I tried to avoid that in the main.
I think they do.
I tried to avoid saying that, but ultimately, you know, they do this television show style origin story for them because we don't need their origin story yet another time. No. I think Fantastic Four, and agree or disagree, does this more effectively than Superman did, introducing you into this world without an origin story. What do you think?
Yeah,
yes,
they did nothing for Superman.
They did the 3 centuries, three. Yeah.
They did 3.
3 hours ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago.
Fantastic Four does do 4.
Yeah.
They go 4 years later.
Yeah. Writing it on the screen isn't as effective as catching people up in a completely satisfying way. I think they did a much better job kind of introducing people to this world and kind of how it works versus throwing you in what feels like movie 3, which is movie 1 in their universe.
Yeah. So you have that television show. It kind of shows them doing various adventures. They fight this smog monster. In fact, Red Ghost is in this, who was played by John Malkovich. Was played by John Malkovich, but his part was cut entirely, unfortunately. Though you do see his apes because he fights with apes. And so there's lots of little flashbacks and stuff, and the world is it's wonderful. Earth 828, and it's been 4 years since they gained their superhuman abilities, and they're not only the United States' heroes, but they seem to be the entire world's heroes. Yeah. So this is a little, it's like, well, wouldn't there be a few countries that would be like, fuck you?
Yeah, Latveria.
Yeah, that was a cool little Easter egg. At one point, they go to the UN, and he's giving a speech and stuff, and Latvia's not there. But I'm pretty sure there'd be a few other countries that wouldn't, do that. But again, comic book world. I guess within those 4 years, they've not only earned the trust of the New York, but they've earned the trust of the United States and earned the trust of the whole fucking world. And they have to, because the believability does get stretched a little bit. This is what me and Joe were going back and forth on, where it's like, well, when Galactus tells them, well, first the Herald comes and says, you're all doomed, spend time with your families. And I like that, that's kind of cool. And everybody's freaking out. And he goes, don't worry, we'll protect you. They go on the space adventure, yada, yada, yada. We'll talk about it. But eventually Galactus is like, looks at the baby. And he's like, I want the child. I'll spare your world. You give me the child. And she's like, fuck no. And Reed Richards doesn't prepare for this moment at all, gets ambushed with questions and just kind of lets it slip. I guess he's like a Superman himself where he just can't help but tell the truth. He's like, look, they asked for the child. We told them fuck off.
As soon as he said that, I was like, oh, they're going to turn on you.
They're going to turn on
like,
you.
Just do it.
And they turned on him, and I like that.
You only had that baby like a month. Give him away.
I kind of like that realism, right? But I wanted it to continue throughout the film. They did make mention, there's a Galactus cult that is walking up the summit of Everest or whatever to praise him. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, it didn't matter because the world does come together after Reed Richards says, I got a plan. Let's teleport the whole fucking Earth. He's he literally just experiments with an egg and teleports, right? So now he was going to do it with the whole Earth, which the power required for that, whatever. It doesn't make any sense.
And everyone had to turn.
And everybody does it.
In
across
the world.
the world.
There's a lot of people.
Nobody fucks up the building. Nobody terrorist groups try to blow it up and disagree. Right. So, but that's the comic book where it's like realistic, but then not realistic, but then I'll just buy it because it's comic book.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And it doesn't matter ultimately anyway.
Right. So, that is also really good too. Yeah. So, backing up a little bit, Alex, if you'll tell us, after that television show, what happens? Do we go directly into the Herald?
Yeah, well, they go into they're pregnant, and then so there's kind of an introduction of characters. We kind of get a bit of an idea of who these people are, and then we find out we're having
Johnny loves cereal. He loves Lucky Charms. He's always eating Lucky Charms. He's got his own box of... Yeah,
but I mean,
Alex, did you appreciate that Ben is a chef?
Yeah,
this man knows more about, and I also like the jab at Reed Richards where he's like, "Yeah, you're smart," or he's like, "You're not that smart," and he's like, "What?" He's like, "Well, you don't know how to cook,
you can't drive,
and you never got your driver's license." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right, man."
It's a science fault.
There's street smart.
It's different.
There's street smart. There's intelligence. There's cooking. The way to people's hearts are through their stomach. Ben's got it locked down, and Reed is but everybody has their thing.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they have their thing too, and he's great. And so they just kind of do a brief introduction to the characters, but then kind of out of nowhere, that's when the Silver Surfer shows up, says, "You've got Galactus come and hug your family." Because he's coming to eat you.
Yeah.
And then they plan a trip to space to confront him. They follow her energy signature to a star really, really far away.
Yeah, I love all his tech. Like, it doesn't make sense that in the 1950s he can track her that far away with telescopes that don't even go that far. But it's a different world. So
he's got faster than light travel. Like, they're going through wormholes.
And I was loving that. It turns into motherfucking Star Trek.
So it's like, this is not the it may kind of look like the 50s. It had they go really, really into the retrofuturism, but they go real hard on the futurism part. And so they've got FTL drives and they're doing all sorts of crazy shit. And so once you they slowly introduce you, he's like, hey, I can teleport an egg from here to there, and you're like, holy shit, the power level here is really high. Yeah. And so they go to another planet where they've sensed the Silver Surfer, and
it's a great scene. This whole space sequence from start to finish, from seeing this first planet that Galactus is hanging out at to getting back to Earth, is worth the price of admission.
Yeah, it's really solid. The one I mentioned in the review, there was one that felt a little long, or I was hoping they'd wrap up, is the chase sequence. Like, so they end up.
I like the chase.
They end up having an audience with Galactus, and he's like, "Hey, you come for beg for mercy," and he's like, and then he sees the baby, and he's like, "Power cosmic. That baby's got the power cosmic. Give me that baby."
Why does he want the baby?
Because Galactus is more or less a slave to his hunger, and he's like, I can transfer my hunger to this baby, and the baby become the new Galactus, and I can go chill in Cabo.
That's the thing.
This is exact, and I love this because this is comic accurate. When you read Galactus, the only fucking thing he cares is this hunger.
That's the thing I forgot to mention in the review. Galactus's voice is fucking amazing. Ralph,
awesome.
He's so fucking good, and Nosferatu and the Witch, like. His voice just carries.
Diablo, the best part of Diablo 4 is Ralph.
So I like every character has their quirks. So Johnny loves space. He's been dying to go back to space. He loves his space suit so much that there's this point in this film that he's just randomly in the space suit because he wanted Reed to make one, and when he finally makes one, he's wearing it. Just oh,
Yeah.
I guess we might have things in common.
She's charming.
Yeah, he's trying. This stuff is charming, and Ben has this whole thing where, the school he loves the neighborhood. He goes out and interact. He knows the locals' names, and the children ask him to lift a car. It kind of looks like the #1 Superman comic.
Yeah.
But I still feel like this one still had some heart. And again, this is the part where I wanted to see more of Ben, because he's like, they're showing the old footage of him before space, and it turns off he's looking at his reflection. He's kind of looking sad.
You get hints of it.
Yeah, they do
but
that
he's
a
trying to-
lot
yeah.
in previous things. That's not here. It's hinted at.
It is, and then he's trying to talk to the girl, he's like, well, I don't know.
But I'm gonna count on you, Joe. I didn't need none of that. I didn't want none of that.
So the problem is, like, I want all of these things. I want all the things that we got if we're constantly going back to Superman. I want all the things we got in Superman, but you just have to come to a point where it's like it stops being a tight, storytelling, exercise if we're starting to include everything. And eventually you just have to go.
It's tough with 4.
Yeah, you get hints that like he's not happy that he can't do the same things, and he's really holding on to his old neighborhood, and talks about his old man and his faith and these restaurants he used to go to. And so you get hints of it, but they don't beat you over the head with it for sure.
And so he meets a girl, and he's got a little subplot about visiting her that's nice, and the kids like him and stuff. And he's got the beard thing. He's got the shaved beard with a fucking sander, which is hilarious. Because they're trying to preserve power eventually. But there's a lot to the film. There's Mole Man, which I didn't expect. What's this actor? He's a funny guy.
Walter.
He's a funny looking
awesome.
guy.
He's so good.
Perfect as Mole Man, because it's such a ridiculous character in the comics. So to give him this kind of dimension, this kind of adorable villain almost, because eventually he's tamed. And Sue Storm negotiates with him, and he only trusts Sue. Probably got a crush on her or something. And, he factors into the story a little bit while they fought in the past. And here he helps people go underground to his Subterranea. Welcome to Subterranea. Wipe your feet. No, I'm just kidding. It's fucking dirty as hell down here. It's dirt. There's just so many great aspects to the film that I enjoyed. But, yeah. What did you guys think about the Galactus? This is obviously an interpretation of Galactus, and I think it's difficult, right? Because real Galactus in comic book logic, you'd be fucked, okay? But the Fantastic Four, you have to kind of depower him in a certain way, and what they did here was clever. He uses a ship. So I was so confused by this because the planet just falls apart, and then there's a big fucking ship, and I'm like, no, that kind of looks like the Cloud that they did previously in Green Lantern and the other movie. But no, it is a ship, and he is transported around the galaxy. So to get around, they explain that he uses a ship.
He's not taking a bite out of it like an apple. So
yeah, I liked the interpretation.
Yes.
He has all
he
of these.
He looked very menacing, especially with the voice. I liked the way he looked and everything, and I guess some of his weak spots, because you need.
This was it. So yeah, and I think a lot of people were complaining. The Silver Surfer is a chick, and this is woke, and this is stupid shit.
It's not.
And then and then Sue Storm is gonna get all the attention in the film. And
that was
this should be
case.
They're sidelighting the guys. I'm like, God, why does this stuff proliferate?
Because
why do people buy into this?
Sells.
But why?
That doesn't happen.
Why is your brain rotten to so much that you gobble it up? Because let me say, none of these things are there. They didn't matter, and in fact they're done so well because this version of Silver Surfer is a female, which kind of plays into Johnny Storm's storyline where he almost has. He's a womanizer. He's like, oh, there's a naked, sexy chick. He keeps calling her sexy. Ben's like, stop calling her sexy. And it's that fun. It's content. There's a purpose in the story, and it makes sense. And it gives Johnny a whole subplot where he's not just the womanizer and the aloof and guy does nothing that's lazy. No, he actually has his own thing where he listens to space broadcasts because he loves space so much, and he realizes they've picked up her language before. It's a little bit of a jump because she does speak her language to him, and later translates for him that one line, and from that one line he's able to extrapolate her entire language.
But how loud?
But
he's having a full-on conversation.
Herbie helps him.
Herbie helps him on it, fine. Because it's like, is he that smart? I know he's smart, but I don't know if he's that smart. But whatever. It gives him something to do in the film. And when when Reed's plan falls apart of teleporting the thing, then Johnny goes into his thing and he realizes that the Silver Surfer shows up, blowing up all of the fucking teleporters, and he uses his brain to try to appeal to her good nature because he knows that she is a slave just like, and her planet was destroyed. And so all these television screens that they have, which, by the way, it's hilarious that in New York, there's CRT monitors that are huge. It's funny. I just love the retro style. Yeah. And it works so well. So that worked. And then the Sue Storm, I don't know where this person behind the scenes that leaked it. Sue Storm is the leader of the team and she gets all the good stuff. It's like, well, yes, at one point it's like, who directly fights Galactus the most? It's probably Sue Storm, but there's a fucking reason for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody does fight him, but in their own unique ways. And just because hers is the most direct,
Sue is insanely fucking powerful.
She is. And a lot of people don't realize that. Oh, she just goes invisible. And it's like, no, she's got other stuff.
Yeah, Reed is the more important with all the inventions and being the smartest man on the planet and probably multiple planets. But, Sue's got some big parts in this, too. And if that bothers you...
I don't know. Yeah. So this is what I wanted them to push a little more. So Galactus shows they have this plan. Okay, we can't take the Earth away from Galactus, but maybe we'll just bring Galactus to the Earth and take Galactus away from the Earth by transporting him instead of transporting the whole Earth. So they got to get him in one spot. And to put the baby. There's a whole subplot about putting the baby in danger that I thought was dealt with nicely. And they come over, and Galactus is about to step where he needs to step. And then he turns and sees the baby. He's like, clever bugs. And it's like, fuck. And that didn't work, so that we have to do something else. But it turns out once Galactus gets the baby, and poor little Herbie's are like trying to, and Galactus' hand comes right and just knocks Herbie aside, and nothing can do. It would have been funny if Herbie was like, get a few shots in there, right? But no, he takes the little baby, and the baby's floating, and he's like, you are the key, you will be my whatever. And, that's when fucking Sue Storm comes in, and she hits him with her power. And her power is stronger than it's ever been. And it's that thing, the thing when mothers...
It's like Rocket Man. You've seen that amazing movie?
When their children are threatened.
Rocket Man. The vehicle falls on the guy, and he's trying to lift it. He's like, call me mama. Yeah, I need the strength.
I don't know how you keep bringing up Rocket Man. You and the guy that farted and put the gas, and he didn't want to smell the fart from the thing. Anyway,
she needed that power. She's like, "Oh, my baby's in danger. I gotta go all out."
And the moment is there, but I'd say it's dialed like at a 6 or a 7. I wanted that shit at like 9, 10. Yeah. I wanted a Zack Snyder moment where the Superman comes in. You think you can threaten my mother? And she just goes, "Give me, put down my baby," or something like that. It's like, something like. You'll never take my son. Something like that.
Give me back my son.
Give me back. Oh,
like Mel Gibson.
Give me back my son. And while she's doing that, it's this intense blast that even she isn't aware of. And then he gets kind of surprised by it because he's mostly knocking people aside. And Reed Richards does. I'm like, well, what's Stretchy Man gonna do? It's stupid. But they know his character traits. He's intelligent. So he's noticed that, Galactus has been plugged into a chair previously in other scenes and that his fucking things rotate or something. So he uses this clever and uses a lever and fucking unbalances something and breaks it and some fucking lava pours out. But, he gets it back under control relatively quickly. And it was... He does not do very well in the fight because then eventually he grabs the last man. Woo,
you ever do the stretch Armstrong as a kid where you just like stretching him too far?
Can you break those?
Yeah.
Do they break?
Yeah. And it snaps back and hits you and it hurts.
Yeah. Well,
I thought he was gonna at first gonna do like one of those Just let him go.
That's what I thought. I thought he was going to let him go because he does knock Ben the fuck into orbit.
In orbit, yeah.
That's so fucking cool. And when we're talking about this, it's actually cooler talking about it. It's filmed very well, but it needed that emphasis, in some of these.
There's a couple of things where I feel they dropped the ball. Johnny has this really great thing where he's trying to appeal to the Silver Surfer. It's like, hey, let me be the sacrifice instead. And she's like, this is not that. Explain to him, you don't have the power cosmic. It's not about you. And so he's like trying to convince her to help. And she shows up kind of out of nowhere, and
she kind of flies away after that.
It's buyable that she's so compelled by this thing, but I needed one more. I think one more scene
emotion
would have been great, like to try to convince her. It's like, this isn't right. You can save all these people. Look how cool Earth is. That would have been great. And I really maybe one more scene of Reed figuring out how to open up the lava ports to weaken him really would have like solidified that Sue isn't Galactus level power, but
Yeah, and they do have to depower Galactus because I'm not sure the Galactus at some point is being toppled by Sue Storm even before her baby mama's power, but I'll allow it because
it does kill her.
It does kill her, so that's good.
Reed's like, you can't do this, and then
she's
stop.
like, take care of our
She knows
son.
that her using this much power is going to kill her, and she fucking dies.
So that's good. That's cool. I mean, I appreciate that in terms of script doctor and making it worth something. Now, I thought at some point, the thing was going to brawl with Galactus. I'm like, please don't do that. And just flick him, and that would be. He does throw him into orbit. But it's Galactus, falls on and is using a building to try to get a holding, and Ben just goes in there and clips the building out from under him. So I thought that was clever.
Well, after he gets knocked into orbit, Johnny grabs him, pulls him from space, and he's like, say it. And he's like, I don't want to say it. And they're going from outer space to launch at Galactus' face because Galactus is stretching Reed real slow.
They're about to die.
And his suit is tearing, and you hear all this horrible noise, and you're like, this guy's going to die. And then so that the big moment is the thing uses gravity.
I didn't laugh as much. Like the moment wasn't as effective for me, but I was like, okay, I buy that punched him. I buy that he actually felt that, to a certain degree, enough to at least save Elastic Man. Not Elastic Man.
Stretchy dude.
Fantastic.
Fantastic Man. No,
Fister
that's somebody else.
Fantastic.
Reed Richards.
Yes.
And what did you guys think about the effects on the stretchy? Because it's so hard.
It is very hard to do, but I thought it was a pretty good job.
I probably think it's probably the best we've seen, but it's still just, and I don't think it ever will work. I don't think it'll. Maybe 20 years from now it is.
Watch the dancing scene. Watch the dancing scene in Fantastic Four.
Oh my God!
So
I forgot about
bad.
it. Maybe I'll find it and I'll put it over here.
Oh my God!
It's real bad.
Yes.
So he stretches while he dances. I don't even remember
he's
that.
Twirling up, and I think the guy says that's what I call loosening up.
Oh my God! Fuck that. Well, there's nothing like that in this film.
No, and that's what I like about this. It took itself more seriously.
So
a little bit of jokes, but
Sue, and ultimately a really simple story. It's like, hey, galactic threat is coming. We're gonna go protect you. They go into space. They get their ass kicked. They come back. So, did you beat him? Everybody's like, ah, everybody's happy they came back. He's like, how'd you beat him? And he's like,
he's coming.
We didn't beat him.
He wants our baby. We said no. I was like, give him your fucking baby.
Yeah, but Johnny was like, no, yet. We haven't beat him yet. Trying to find a way to beat him. And they, eventually they find clever ways through the story to beat him. And they do beat him. And I liked it. It was...
the Earth is saved.
The Earth is ultimately saved. Now, Sue does die. But, of course, you bring the CGI baby. And the baby then, because the baby... I mean, it's a baby. It's not an actor. So you have to do CGI for the acting of being interested in your dead mother.
And being on the bed.
Do the thing, yeah.
Every time he's with Ben, I was like, oh, God.
It looks a little bad. But the baby resuscitates Sue Storm.
He's a necromancer. His very first power is necromancy.
Yeah.
I guess her eyes go blue with the power of cosmic, perhaps, and she comes back to life. What's his powers in the comics?
Everything. Like, so, you know, have you familiar with like Molecule Man, who can like create universes and destroy universe? Like, he can just like think and do everything, and they take that to like the.
So hopefully in this
they power down.
No.
Hopefully in this they depower the fuck out of him, because by introducing him, I'm surprised they did him so well here, but he's a baby. Okay.
I have hope that they know how dumb the character is, and that they're gonna do something like. That's part of the whole Doomsday thing, is that he is interested in this child for the power, and then we find a way to separate the power cosmic from the baby, and we never have to, and it poofs. The good guys succeed, and the power poofs, and we never hear about the power cosmic again because it's fucking stupid.
Yeah. I liked how Now, there was I feel like there's maybe one or two missing scenes, I hope, in the DVDs, because nobody ever informed Galactus, we're going to give you the baby now. You know, Galactus is like, oh, you're not going to give me the baby, you fucked off. And my herald tried to chase you. My herald failed. All right, I'm gonna fuck your world up. And so he should just show up, and he should just start fucking the world up.
He doesn't want to.
Like, he wants to get rid of his curse.
Yeah, the curse is the most important thing. He's like, I cannot destroy the Earth. I have to get the baby.
He's like, I'm gonna take the baby and fuck everything up.
The world comes out of his chair. I like that his chair. Well, his chair actually comes out of his ship too. So his chair is floating, and he jumps into the water, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But he looks, and he's a smaller size. Galactus has been his head bigger than the Earth.
Yeah.
His size can go up or down according to what they need in the story, and it's fine that he's as tall as a building here. He's actually about the same size.
And it's his ship.
And needs a ship to get around. But anyway, so he walks towards the baby, and, you know, I loved those scenes where he's just like, you know, looking around. Everybody's underground, scared, and the ground's like cracking. I'm like, the ground's not going to, you know, nobody's going to be buried by stuff. But they're just showing the effects of that, okay, you know, we can't make this like Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. We have to address that these are heroes, that they save people. At one point they said, oh, he'd be walking past too many families. So what do? Sue Storm has an idea, and she brings the Mole Man, which gives the movie some laughs, where the Mole Man is like, you know, looking at all this stuff, and he's criticizing them, and giving shit to Reed Richards and stuff. He's fine, I'll help. And so he's the one that takes everybody underground. But yeah, so they deal with Galactus. Now, he falls into, so with Sue Storm's, you know, baby mama power, pushes him in there. He comes out. I like that, because it's like, it's Galactus, man. Can't just fall in there.
And they had 37 seconds. They said 10 more seconds.
Yeah. And what happens, Joe?
So he's coming back out, and then they see this. Sue's already pretty much gone.
She's dead, yeah.
Then Johnny's like, tell my family I love them. Mm-hmm. He's going to go sacrifice himself and push him in.
So Franklin, his favorite uncle.
Last minute, we get Silver Surfer making the sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm with Alex. I needed maybe one more scene of Silver Surfer maybe on her board, like thinking on her own. Because as the Herald of Galactus, you have a lot of free time. You know, so it would have been nice to see that. And maybe that is there somewhere in the cutting room floor.
Yeah, because it's just a brief thing after she hears all the cries of everyone that's like, this is what you also did.
She just pieces out.
She takes off, and she's kind of hovering and just thinking, I guess, for a second.
It's there for a second.
It's there for a second,
yeah,
but
you're
not,
right.
yeah.
But we needed something a little bit different, like she's just on a different planet in deep thought. But she does show up, makes the sacrifice. What actually? She goes in there with him.
She goes in, yeah.
She's
in there with them.
She's in there with them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
but she can at the point where she does it, she can, you know, do wormhole stuff. But I imagine he immediately takes her powers away.
Yeah, he's probably pretty fucking pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Or he probably doesn't. That's the thing, and that's been in the comics before, where Silver Surfers can kind of, you know, fuck around for a little bit until he finds he needs to find a new herald before taking her powers away and shit.
Didn't Galactus become a herald of Franklin Richards in one comic, I think?
fuck, I haven't read that one. What? Galactus became a herald.
I don't think there is a single protagonist in Marvel or DC, and I said protagonist, not bad guy, that is more powerful than Franklin Richards. There are guys that are like kind of evil, that kind of do like fucked up stuff. They're like Molecule Man, but it's like Franklin Richards is like only for the most part a good guy.
Just, I hate that problem that creates in comics, and it just deflates a lot of the story. Like we said, it's done well here. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't go.
I was not detracted at all. He resurrects his dead mother because he's a master necromancer, and that's cool.
And the world is saved.
World is saved. Everybody's cheering. They come back over on the buses, which I loved every fucking design that these people came up with for the cars, for the style, for Molecule Man, for everything. And this is where I thought, and I didn't want to say any spoilers, I thought, oh, the leaks, here's my idea. You know, they don't save the world. They leave, and then they somehow come into the current MCU.
Because that's what we thought with
saying
Thunderbolt.
to myself, they can't do that because everybody would just call them cowards and murderers, and you didn't save all these people. And this whole film, these people are awesome, and they adore them so much, and they revere them as heroes. You can't just abandon them. And they don't. They save them in the end. Earth 828 is saved. And in a sequel, we'll get Earth 828 again. Maybe. Now, they might make an expedition to the MCU because my guess, here are the two after credits scenes. So what's the first after credits scene?
Robert Downey Jr.
Well, you don't know
playing
that.
With the baby.
Body double.
It's him.
It is him, but it's probably not him because they don't want to pay the money to pay him for that day of
They already
acting.
paid him $100 million.
He has his mask off, and he's wearing the same cloak. And we've seen, Robert Downey parading the mask, constantly having the mask off, so it's Robert Downey.
Yeah.
Doesn't turn around. He's with the baby. He somehow got inside the building.
Magic.
Yeah.
He's the perfect combination of magic and technology, and so it looks like he's going to kidnap the baby. Well, who's now 4 years old.
He's interested. The baby is 4 years old. Baby loves very complicated books. He's got Darwin books, but then he also enjoys more baby books.
Hungry caterpillar.
Yeah, and then at the very, very end, after credit scene, is just the cartoon. So it's the cartoon of Fantastic Four, but drawn in, Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby style.
I always love how the superheroes always run.
Yeah. It's Scooby-Doo run.
They hold their two hands here, and their body just moves. Yeah, that's nice. So it's kind of disappointing because, it's like Superman's, teaser where it doesn't really connect to anything. The one right before does. The Doom does connect. And that, I guess that's like the Supergirl one, teasing at another character that's coming. So, but it's like, okay, but how does this connect to Avengers Doomsday? Does it that Doom steals the baby and then goes to a different dimension?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
I want to say that I have been super critical of Marvel for I don't know how many fucking years, where they make you less excited about what you're watching, about more hinting about what's coming in the future. And there was very little of that here during the movie proper, and I loved it because I wasn't worried about how the cool stuff that was going to happen in the next movie. I was able to enjoy the cool stuff that was happening now.
Yeah, complete story, satisfying beginning, middle, end. And it worked. Let's see. Other little ends and bobs and bibs.
Yeah, because I was just trying to think of that ending of Thunderbolt. Was that during the chase scene? Or is that...
Did you like this better or less than Thunderbolts?
Better.
I think I like it better.
Better, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, even though I think I give Thunderbolts either a 7 or an 8. I can't remember. Probably a little too generous. I need to, figure that out. But that's my fan brain going on. So who died? Okay, that's right. Sue died. Reed. Let's see.
It was an emotional scene. Like I definitely bought that. Reed was super distraught, and everyone was like real sad about it. And like I said, it was in a moment that they kind of let develop.
Yes.
And appreciate that. The baby.
CGI baby.
I'm pretty fucking surprised at everything we've covered. There has to be something that we missed that we didn't talk about. No matter how small. Give it to me.
That we missed?
That we haven't mentioned. It's got to be one
We
thing.
mentioned Ben's potential love interest in the future. That's going to happen.
Yeah, he visits this one chick, and she's like, "Oh, are you here for religion or something?" And he's like, "No, I'm
With
here
his
for you."
beard.
Yeah, he's there
Very
from the neighborhood.
distinguished.
Yeah, he grew a beard. And
The very end, so they're on the television again. It's like, hey, we won and everybody won. And they're like, you're Fantastic Five. They try to get the little baby to wear the 5. How did y'all guys not remember this part? So they get the little 5 on the baby. Say, absolutely not. The baby's not. It's too young for this. Even though it would have been cool to see the baby in the 5. But the baby still has a blue jumpsuit, so pretty much the same thing. And before the curtain opens, they get notifications on their watches.
Showtime.
They must save the day again. And so then they go off and they go to the car, and there's a comedy scene of them trying to put the baby seat in the car and being, if you've ever had to deal with baby seats in your life, then this joke will be so much more effective for you. And Thread, I'm like, that's a really poorly designed thing. Reed Richards, you made this, right? He's got to thread this through with it. And they're fumbling, and they get it, and they all turn around ready to go. And it's a good joke. It's fun because it's like a red light, and then it switches to a green light when it's in there. And we don't know what the threat is. We're never shown. It doesn't matter. It's just, in this world, there are villains. He does make mention, they baby-proof the house. That's another scene I forgot to talk about. Once they're pregnant and put in, all the plugs. And Herbie has a lot of purpose. He's like baby-proofing the house, but it's unproofing the house for everybody else. Everybody else is tripping over all this stuff, and it's interrupting them. He installs fire detectors and Torch is like, really, Herbie? And then
Herbert. Torch always calls him Herbert.
And then the thing trips over the baby gates for the steps, and it's just fun, good stuff. And Reed takes down every single criminal organization. And that's the
minor crime bosses. He goes.
That's
through.
the baby shower gift.
I was like, you could have done that earlier.
Could have done that earlier, but he's like, no, my baby's coming.
I guess he gets bored. He needs to get out of the house sometimes.
So they name drop some characters that are surely from the comics.
Was one of them.
The Wizard and some of these other people that I don't read the Fantastic Four comics, so I can't tell you. Other channels will be able to do that. I love the design of their Fantastic Four tower. I love the fucking design of their ship, and their ship connects with another ship to give them FTL. The look of the FTL being kind of this distorted bubble as the silver. So you have this great space sequence where they start fighting Galactus when he says, "Give me the baby," and they're leaving. So really impressive there. And then, but Johnny only has a certain amount of air because he's in the suit. So some great tension, and it's like, fuck, he can't use his powers to completion. Everybody works together back on the ship. They launch the ship, and she follows them, and Johnny's on a laser. He's like, kill your girlfriend. He's like, God damn it, this sucks. And then he's shooting her, and he's like, and he does this creative thing where the shot is getting warped, so then he has to predict where it might go, and he actually hits her with it, which was really cool. So while initially there's no like this punching and like combat like you see in Superman,
you can't punch your way out of it. You gotta use your brain.
This is Galactus. This is Silver Surfer. You can't just solve those problems by punching. And all the little action scenes that they came up with, while may not immediately be satisfying because there's 17 billion explosions going off, they all make sense, and on the whole, I think were very satisfying.
Yeah,
and made sense within the world. So. Yeah.
I said I didn't like the vehicle because it didn't have a Hemi.
How do you what? Oh, because the previous thing had this promotion for Hemi.
Hemi.
God damn it, Joe. The Thing is the best looking thing. The CGI is the best on him.
Nope.
But they didn't make a chair for him. Wouldn't his chair be wider? But all the chairs in the car are the exact same size. And I kept thinking about the buttons because Ben's constantly pushing on these buttons.
He's still
but
sensitive.
The buttons are regular sized.
He's still like very careful when he's taking the cookies and everything when he's cooking.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. And
Arrested Development had the best thing. Got his rocks off.
Haven't seen that episode. All right, but ultimately, this film succeeds because I want to see these characters again.
Yes,
I don't mind in their own film or interacting with the MCU characters. Though now it does seem superficial, where they're just gonna show they're not going to live in the MCU. That's what I thought. That by the end of the film, they would now be the Fantastic Four in the MCU. But it doesn't seem like they could do that because that would be betraying Earth 828. And people would have points like, why are you leaving those people?
If Doom kidnaps their kid, they got to go to wherever Doom
That's
is.
the only way it can be, temporarily, and then they go back. But it kind of sucks because you're like, all right. Especially if you're a big fan of the film, you're like, I want these Fantastic Four in the fucking MCU moving forward.
They call them, like, hey, we need some help. Come over.
Just constantly jumping between dimensions, galaxies, or
You got Doctor Strange. Why not?
You're right. Yeah. All right. Well, that, I think, is it. Anything else we'll do on our second, third, fourth watching for this film, which I'll drag the voice to. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.